So I'm here today to talk about rituals and habits to make sure every day is a great day. And I'm going to be sharing things that I have done and I have built up over the years that might or might not be useful to you. And I want you to really listen in for some insight that might get created for you. Because maybe you will have some resistance initially and say, yeah, I can't do that. So just take what you can from this video. So the first thing I will say is that I spent a long time figuring out how to optimize my mind and my brain because I struggled with anxiety for such a long time. I was stuck in my head. So I had to figure out how to get out of that head, right? Because it was so painful and it just drained my life so much that I had to figure out how to do things better. And I became a bit obsessed, if I was going to be completely frank with you. I became obsessed with being in this optimal state. So I started reading all of the neuroscience. I started learning all about the physical body, how all of the spine works, all of that stuff. I became like an obsessed mad scientist. And I say mad scientist because all of this was experimentation, right? It wasn't just reading and then saying, yeah, this is what this book says, so this is how to do it. No, I was trying things based on myself. So that's what I'd encourage you to do as well. Try things and see what works based around your lifestyle. Because that's what I always say to people I'm working with, that this is your life. You take tools and rituals and you build them around your life. So what are the ones that help me most? So I started on this journey of physical fitness a long time ago, about 10 years back. I went into the gym because it was helping me with anxiety, right? At the time, it made me feel calm when I left the gym. So that was a step that has carried on until now. So the first thing I always encourage people is to do some movement. And let me just say it like as if I was planning my day, right? Or as if I was having like a day just like every other day. This is how I start. Every morning I will wake up and like everyone else, I feel groggy. I don't wake up and feel like I'm on top of the world. I feel groggy. So the first thing I know is I want to get out of that state and I want to wake my body up. I'm not going to sit around and wait for this to happen. Because most people say, yeah, some days I feel like this, some days I like, why don't you just create that? You can create that with this machine that you have. It's a machine. If you can master the machine, you know how you can get into these peak states. So first thing I do is I wake up and I will get out of bed and I will I'll brush my teeth, the usual stuff, right? And then I will do some movement. I'll move my body in a way where my whole body is being worked. So some days this would be, I'll do some body weight workouts. I'll do some pull-ups. I might do some push-ups, some squats, just, with my body only. Sometimes I'll do some burpees and I'll generally spend only about 15 to 20 minutes doing this. Just so I'm firing myself up in the morning, shaking off all of that tiredness. Because generally when we wake up, we're not in an optimal state. I want to fire this system up, press the button that says switch on. So that's what I do first. And sometimes, like I said, I won't do that and I will go straight into yoga because I do yoga every single day. So the next step is to do yoga. If I haven't done that movement, yoga is movement as well. So I'll do some yoga. And the form of yoga, some people ask me about what type of yoga do you do, Raj? And usually it's different types, but most likely I would do some form of yoga, which is fairly physical, and then it will go down into the more observation type of yoga, slowing down. So I'll do some yoga. Kundalini yoga is something I've been doing for many years now, and that has been so powerful. If you feel like you're at that stage to do that kind of stuff, then go for it. Otherwise, just, yeah, typical yoga is great because it's body, mind, and spirit. Like I'm all about optimizing myself. Why do I want to waste time doing all these different things when this one thing is helping me in 3 ways? It doesn't make sense. I spent a lot of years lifting weights for 2 hours in the gym to get really big. It felt great, but like I want to optimize my time now. This thing called yoga is movement, it's awareness, it's breathing, chanting sometimes if you're doing certain types, sound vibrations, so many things happening at once. So that's the next thing I do. And with the yogic principles I will follow is afterwards I'll do some kind of breath work. And that word is become very popular now, but it's been around for thousands of years. Pranayama, breath work, using your breath, using the energies. And really it means energy. It doesn't just mean, you're breathing. You're channeling the energy, the prana, the life force energy. So that's why breath work is so powerful, because you're using this life force energy. It's not such a physical thing. It's using something more subtle than that, the energy inside. So I'll do some breath work next. Then I will meditate. I will meditate in the form of sitting down in silence. Sometimes, actually, more often than not, I'll do some chanting before I meditate. Some form of mantras, usually mantras that are either Kundalini mantras or they are mantras taken from yoga. They're not like, your affirmations. No, these mantras are created because of the sound that they make, the sound vibration, not the thought that you get when you say an affirmation. These mantras are sound, and sound is what everything is, they say everything is really started from. So that does a lot for my body. So if you want to try something like this, find some specific mantras, and I can help you with this if you want me to help you with that. So yeah, like I said, I'll meditate because the meditation helps me to become still, really helps me to become still and do nothing, observe, bathe in the energy that I've created. You're just noticing it, feeling it. Because if you were doing all of this stuff and then you went off to your job, like, you don't get any chance to let it absorb. That's why anytime you do yoga, they make you lie down on the floor for a few minutes. And I know some people who are like, yeah, feeling uncomfortable with that. Like they're feeling like, oh, I'm in a rush, I better go now. No, that's such a waste. Because anytime we do activity, we need the opposite, which is absorbing, recovery. Like if you were to lift weights and you didn't recover, doesn't do anything for you. It's the same with all of this stuff. It's the same with your working patterns. And I'll come on to that in a minute. So I'll meditate, and that will be the end kind of my morning routine. And I forgot to mention before, I will hydrate. I will have some kind of salt water, sometimes with some turmeric, sometimes with some other herbs. And I'm not going to say exactly what those are because, again, it depends on you. Sometimes I'll have some concoction of mixture in the morning. And after I meditated, I'll have some tea. And the other thing I didn't mention was with breath work, sometimes you can do something called Wim Hof method. I know it's become very popular. I did it for a lot of years. Now I'll do it here and there because it really oxygenates your body. Like we spend all this time drinking water, but you can oxygenate your body by just taking long, deep breaths. And the Wim Hof method is specifically created for a certain effect, and it's been proven to be beneficial. So if you want to make it easier for yourself, go and just look that up. So I'm in my day now. I've done this routine. I'm feeling amazing. This is why I do this stuff, because it's fired me up. I'm getting all the health benefits. I don't need to go and run or do any of that stuff. I'm getting much more health benefits than this. Like just doing this routine. So many benefits for the time I've spent. It's efficient use of time, you see? That's what I'm about, efficiency. Getting the most bang for my buck. So doing this every day, I'm on top of the world, mentally, physically, spiritually. It all combines into one. There's no need for separating activities now. So the reason why I say that, actually, just to pause for a moment, is because I spent a lot of years separating everything out. I would do yoga, I would run, I would lift heavy weights, I would do boxing, I would do long distance running, I'd do short distance. I did everything at once, and it was so time consuming. And I don't need to do that. Now I've refined it into these steps that I've mentioned. And people might ask, how long does this take? I don't have an answer for that because it depends. But let's say an hour or so in the morning. Maybe an hour and a half from when I get up from the floor, basically. So, and when I say get up from the floor, it's because I've been sleeping on the floor for a while, and that's another story altogether. After I've done that, now I will do some learning. And when I say learning, reflecting on myself. This is in the form of writing, journaling. I'll have a notepad and I will write down things that feel like they are most useful for me to think about right now. I will write down what is coming up in my head. What are the things I have to do today? Sometimes I'll just say, what are 3 things that I can do today? That means that today's been a successful day. Or I will do something like, how can I increase my energy levels today? Or what can I do to help serve someone today? What can I do to create something today? Simple stuff. I'll just get down the most important things, write it down. And also sometimes I'll just free flow. I'll just like empty this head out because it's so much nicer for that to travel down my shoulder, down into my arm and into the paper, because I can feel it, I can see it. I can plan things, I can feel what's happening. So important, such a good use of time. Doesn't take long, it takes about 10 minutes sometimes, depends, again, on you. Next thing I'll do is read. I'll read something for half an hour. I used to do it for a lot longer, for an hour. If I have, depends how my day's going, but usually half an hour I'll read. Half an hour to an hour. Read something, learn something. And I'll always pick a book which is based on the context of now. And I picked that up at some point. I heard someone say something like this, and it clicked. It was like, yeah, I'm going to just learn stuff that is useful right now. For example, you are working on, I don't know, like you're working on something like your health. Pick up a book about that then, because it's going to help you because you're doing that right now. You're experiencing it right now. So it's useful. So you're going to absorb it. You're going to enjoy it. It's like if you were to eat something on an empty stomach, it would just go down easy. It's the same. You're going to absorb whatever you really want right now. So read those type of books. Don't just read random books that your friend said, oh yeah, you should read this book, this is great. No, make it for yourself. Next thing. I won't eat anything, by the way, by this point. I don't eat breakfast because it doesn't serve me. I've played around with this and I'll usually wait for a while. And I used to fast a lot. So what I'm talking about is kind of intermittent fasting. I used to fast for long periods of time. Now I just go based on what I'm feeling. Do I feel like I want to have some food? Okay, maybe I will, but I won't like just do it out of habit and routine. That's unconscious behavior. And I'm trying to get out of all of that. That's what I want you to get from this video. All the unconscious spending of time, the unconscious feeling of tiredness, or oh, I don't feel up for it, I feel down. You can change that. You can create that if you consciously do something about it. I don't believe in this thing of, letting life happen to you. You can create these things. It's all coming from within, isn't it? So I won't eat anything. I'll fast. These days I'm much more relaxed than I used to be, but I used to fast for a long period of time, and I'd set a time for when I'd fast until. And that's useful, because then what it does is it puts you into that mode of like you're hungry, right? You're not just hungry in the physical sense. You're hungry in general. Your mind is hungry. Your mind is becoming slightly tense. But that's so useful because you can see better. You're more focused. It goes back to that hunter's mindset. The hunter who's hungry, he's sharp. He knows he wants the food, so he's going to go and find it because he's got that energy. So use that energy for whatever you're doing. For the morning, smash out the morning. And that's another thing I'm going to come on to now, which is use this energy for something important. There's this term called eat that frog, where they say you have these big ugly tasks in your head and you really don't want to do them, you procrastinate. So eat that frog in the morning. You know it's going to be uncomfortable. You know it's a big frog. So why don't you just deal with it? Otherwise, you're going to have it haunting over you the whole day. And you know that feeling. It doesn't feel good. And then you start judging yourself. I haven't done this yet. I know how important this is. You're pushing it away. Deal with it. Then the rest of your day, you feel great. And it builds such momentum. The feeling you get from doing that thing, it sparks other things. It's a domino effect. 90 minutes is a good time period. And neuroscientists kind of say that's a great period of time. Spend 90 minutes focused on something. Just that period, and then you can take a break. You can take a break because the reason why I say that is because, just like I said earlier, like muscles, you need to do the work and then rest. The same in your day. You can't go full on because you will exhaust yourself and nothing will get absorbed, nothing will go in, nothing will come out. So 90 minutes and then take a 20-minute or 30-minute break and then maybe do it again. If you're working in the daytime, this is a great way to work. Some people prefer other methods. There is the Pomodoro method, which is 25 minutes, 5-minute breaks. That doesn't work for me. It's quite fun, but then once I'm into something, it's like, okay, time for a break. And then that break will be longer. So it doesn't work for me, it might for you. Try different things. Like I said, experiment, play. So it's been a great morning so far, right? If you've done all these things, imagine how amazing this has been so far as a day. Your health, your goals, you've written down, you've reflected, you've been still, you're fired up, you've done some things. Wow. That's how I feel if I'm having a day like this. And that's mostly every day. So next is now I will, well, actually, before I eat, I will usually have some kind of tea. I'll have a tea with some kind of, it depends, different types of teas, but that will get me through that 90-minute period because I'm not eating, right? So if I'm feeling hungry, I will have teas. But what I've been doing recently is I've been putting some fats in my tea. So I put ghee in the tea, or sometimes coconut oil, because what that does is that allows the body to use that for fuel. And it also cleans the stomach out really well. If you're having some ghee, like it's got so many things in it that it will clean your stomach out. That's just my preference. And I've only been doing that for the past couple of years or something. It feels great. Because then 30 minutes later, I will have my breakfast. And this will usually be, it depends about timing, like I said earlier, usually be about, I don't know, 12. Sometimes it's been 11 these days. Sometimes it's even been 10. I've been playing around with it. But yeah, eventually I will do that. And actually I wake up, I got to say, I wake up pretty early to get this stuff done, because then that means, like I said, I have an amazing morning. I started doing the 5 a.m. club and it was great, which just means waking up at 5 a.m. It was great for a while. And then I started easing off because, yeah, I don't know why I started going to sleep too late. But that's the perfect morning if I'm up at 5 a.m. That means this has been an amazing day so far. So now it's time to have breakfast. I will have a green smoothie every single morning for the past few years. It's been probably at least like 6 years now that I've been having this, and it never fails me. Do you know why? Because it has all the vegetables and the fruits that I need, and it feels good. I feel amazing. And I'm not going to go into all the ingredients, but let's just say some bananas, some dates are in there, really good for you. Some greens, spinach, kale, different types of greens, mint, pineapple sometimes, there's mango sometimes, there's always an apple usually. There's things like flaxseed. There's usually some protein shake in there, depends, it's usually pea protein or something like that. And this is like a monster. And I even throw other stuff in there, like good, really good stuff. Celery. It tastes amazing as well. It, like, you're probably thinking, oh, that doesn't taste good. It's like the most amazing shake ever. I don't even think I can buy one like this out there, because I've refined it and I know what's in there. I know what feels good. I'll have that. That's my first meal. And that keeps me going for a few hours. And there's no like come down from this. You know, like you have a breakfast and you're just feeling sluggish after it, or you have lunch and you're feeling sluggish. No, I'm still buzzing off my morning and off this shake. I'm feeling great, feeling on top of the world. I'm feeling on top of the world for most of the day, riding this wave every day usually. So then I will continue doing some work, or whatever I'm doing. It depends what day it is, right? And then there'll come this point in the day where I'll have another meal, usually around the afternoon time. That's my next meal. It depends what that is. I'm not going to go into too much detail. Sometimes it would be some oatmeal. I have a lot of oatmeal. It's a great thing for me to have in the day. I enjoy it. It tastes good. Here's that key I said before. I'm not here to eat stuff that's not enjoyable, that I don't like really, really enjoy. I'm not talking about the healthy foods that you think, oh yeah, it's a little bit, yeah, it's okay, but it's not that. No, I really enjoy all these things I'm eating. They're healthy, but amazing in taste. Because I said from the beginning when I started this journey 10 years ago, I'm not here to torture myself. I want to enjoy things I'm eating and everything I'm doing. Because that's when you continue doing this stuff. You're just torturing yourself, like, no, that's not fun. So yeah, I'll have some kind of meal. Then there will come this crash. You're probably thinking, Raj, how can you be high all day? There will come this crash, and I've noticed it. So I know that it's coming, right? Because now I know myself. I know how my energy works. I will have a crash. every day, and I will feel tired, I'll feel down, I don't want to do anything. And usually what I'll do is I will go for a walk. This is another key for the day for me. Going for a walk, even if it's as short as 20 minutes, getting outside, getting fresh air. It's been proven that when you are walking, you're moving in such a manner that your body believes that your life is moving forward. That's why you have these bits of insight. And this came again from neuroscience. They were studying it and they said, yeah, it feels like your life is moving forward. That's why we love to walk. We love to walk with a friend. We love to walk in nature. Nature's even better, right? And yeah, I won't go into that, but it's so the connection with the earth. You're literally connecting with the earth. Getting outside is so important. Just looking at trees and looking at things out there, it does so much for you. And what I do is, because I'm a junkie for efficiency and productivity, I listen to an audiobook. So I already read a book for about an hour in the day. I'll listen to another thing, which will be an audiobook during my walk. And I listen to it in 2 times speed because that's how I absorb things better when it's like I have to focus because it's going so fast. My brain switches up a level because it's going at 2 times speed. So I'm listening to it. I'm also focusing on what's outside. I'm feeling that. So there's no time for distraction. There's no way I could be distracted because I'm so engrossed in my audiobook, so engrossed with the nature. My body's moving. I'm getting all of these benefits at once, like so many things. It's such a key. I think if you can do anything, then go for a walk and listen to an audiobook at the same time. Amazing. It's been a game changer. I will come back. And then another thing I think is great for a day is to have a moment of rest. And I mean really rest. I've been doing this a lot more recently. Previously, I would just meditate. Like I'll have a midday meditation break. I'll sit for 20 minutes. Actually, I do that still as well. But what I've been doing more is sometimes I will have these 20-minute slots where I'll practice something called Yoga Nidra, which is a body scan. So I'll be lying down, I'll be flat, and I'll be listening to this guided voice, which is scanning me through each part of the body, putting my awareness there. What it does is it puts you into a deep state of rest. It puts you into a state where you are awake and aware, but your body is resting so much. It's called the yogic sleep, basically. And the effect for me and for people who I've worked with is it feels like you've slept for many hours because your body just really relaxes. Feels great, feels awesome. And even like I've been using the words neuroscience today, just because I want to prove to you that this stuff is getting proven. Even this yoga stuff is getting proven. It's been here for thousands of years, and now the modern science is catching up. And they're taking it and renaming it to stuff like mindfulness, and they're renaming it to this type of therapy. And in neuroscience, they're calling it non-sleep deep rest, Yoga Nidra. And it's really just, yeah, it calms the body down. That is when I wake up and I feel better now. I feel more social. I feel like rested. But this period of the day now, it starts toning down because naturally we as humans work this way. That's why I've molded my day like this, because I'm working with my own nature, their own natural cycle. I'm not fighting anything. I'm going with what's been given to me. The sun comes up, we start waking up as humans naturally. We start getting more alert. But then as the day goes on, we start slowing down. So I'm going with that. I'm like, it's like if you were going into a river and you let the river take you. Let yourself be taken away by the stream instead of fighting it and going against it. Like all of the food systems I'm doing, the not eating, all of the ways I'm waking up, all of these things I'm doing are specifically going with nature. They're not just things I've made up. I'm doing it to get the maximum benefit. So at this time, I will feel like, yeah, I'm starting to slow down. So I might do some work. I might do something which is more easy and it's not so demanding, make some content. That's quite easy. I will have conversations with people, and then I'll usually just spend my evenings doing something which is, yeah, maybe more social, maybe more about connecting with someone, having conversations. Whereas early in the day, it was more about isolation, and it was more about doing the hard work, getting that stuff done, locking myself away. Evening is more about, yeah, let me connect with people. And that again is natural, right? Like we like to go out in evenings because it's different. We can have this time where we're more relaxed. The day's been done, and yeah, you just enjoy your evening. That's the rule I put in place. I enjoy my evening. That means it's been a perfect day. And food-wise, here's where it gets fun. I have no rules when it comes to evening food. I will enjoy some sweet stuff sometimes. I will enjoy a bulk of carbs. Carbs are not an enemy, by the way. I wanted to just throw that in there. But yeah, I will enjoy my dinner more. There's no rules, but it will still be something generally healthy, but it will be something warm and cooked. And I just love to have a good dinner, honestly. Like if I don't have a good dinner, it doesn't feel nice. Here's another reason why. Because when we have a big dinner, our body is going into a relaxed state as well. You're helping your body to go into that sleep by giving it a big dinner. People that say, don't have a big dinner, you know, this nonsense, because you'll get fat. This is complete nonsense. It's actually helping your body to have a bigger dinner, because then you sleep better. Like you feel sleepy, don't you? So isn't that good? You sleep well at night. Makes sense, doesn't it? So that's what I do, have a great dinner. And then I will usually spend the evening not doing much, wind down, and I will, yeah, maybe just, I might even look at stuff on my phone. Yeah, I'm happy now at this point to let myself go, because I've had an amazing day. I've done everything. Like I said in the morning, I've eaten the frogs. So now I feel so good by this end that I feel like I have deserved whatever happens now. Doesn't matter. There's no guilt. I've done the best I could. How good is that feeling when you've done the best you could? Wow. You just feel like so happy, so fulfilled, peaceful. People are looking for peace, thinking that peace means doing nothing. It doesn't. Peace means living your life to the max. Peace is not like when people retire, they're not really happy, are they? They're only happy if they've had an amazing career. They felt like, okay, my life has been lived well. Now it's okay, relax. But they're still busy trying to do stuff because you want to feel like you're using your time the best in this world while you're here. So then going into evening now, into bedtime, what I've been doing more recently is doing some yoga at night to really calm my body down, to really put it into the best state it can get into so it will sleep in the best state. 15 minutes, nothing more than that. 15 minutes you spend doing nothing, right? You'll spend 15 minutes wasting time. So I'll do this instead. 15 minutes, just really slow stretches, slow yoga, easing and breathing, and then I'll meditate for maybe another 5 minutes, 10 minutes, maybe, I don't know, let's see. Depends, I might do longer. But just have some wind down routine, and then no phone. No phone at night, especially if it has a bright light. Keeps you up. This light is not good. You can put on reading mode if you want, but still the distraction of using your phone, seeing all of this noise is so noisy. Put it away at least an hour before bed and you'll have a great sleep. Hour, 30 minutes then if you find that an hour hard. Have a great sleep. And that's my day. That's how my day ends. All of that means it's been a great day. And I sleep like a rock. I don't even get that much sleep. People will say, have 9 hours sleep. I don't need that much sleep because my body's more relaxed. I'm getting better quality sleep. Some days I'll sleep 5 hours, 6 hours only, but my quality of sleep is amazing because I have gone to sleep peacefully, relaxed. I've had a great day. There's no stress, nothing I'm keeping. Sometimes even before I go to bed, I'll imagine this is my last day on earth. How powerful is that, right? And in the morning, you know, like, wow, I woke up. Leave everything behind when you go to bed. Say goodbye to the day. And something I also have done a few times, well, not a few times, but I did it regularly for a while, was journaling at night as well. What has been good today? What could I have done better? 2 questions, simple. Because then that means you reflect on the day. What has been successful? You feel good again, consciously. And what could I have done better? How can I improve? That puts you into improvement mode. Third question, actually, sometimes I might ask, what am I grateful for? And I ask that in the morning as well, all the time. Because gratefulness is just such a powerful thing. It takes you into another world. Then I have an amazing sleep. Doesn't matter if I'm sleeping that long. I don't need to sleep that long. I don't want to spend my whole life sleeping. 8 hours of sleep is a third of a day. I'm not saying I don't sleep like long periods sometimes. I generally just see what happens, but I don't need it at all. I'm not letting sleep be the reason why I'm tired. Because like I said, my body's more rested. It's better quality sleep. Take that away, see what comes up for you. And take anything I've said today away, see what comes up for you. I'd love to hear. I'd love to hear what your insights were. Not just so you relate to it and say, yeah, me too. So, because that's just agreement. But what is something that you might have heard from today which might be different to what you've known? Just take that one thing or 2 things and let me know, what was that? I'd love to hear. And if there's anything you want some help with, because I haven't gone into massive details on this stuff, anything you want some help with, write to me, let me know. I'd be happy to help you. I've got some guides, documents, I've got some other content I can share with you. Or we can have a conversation and I can help you with this. Because it's not rocket science, it's a system. It's a system and processes and habits which once you do them, yeah, they create massive change. Doing all this stuff, it means my life has gone exponentially in growth because I have systems now that don't fail. I'm so used to this. So this is why everything's changed for me. So see what comes up for you. And yeah, I'd love to hear. For now, enjoy the rest of your day.